We just took a test drive of the CLE 450 Cabriolet. I know it's a mouthful of a name, but there's a lot of meaning to that. I'm going to tell you what this name means, what it's like to drive, what's magical about it. We're going to put the top down and we're going to test a new technology that Mercedes rolled out called AirCap. I'm also going to show you what the air scarf is, and I'm going to show you why now you can have black or red leather and not fry like an egg in a frying pan on a hot day. Mercedes has an answer for that too. Come with me, we're going to take a test drive, a walkthrough. I'll show you everything in the Mercedes-Benz, let me try to say that again, in the Mercedes-Benz CLE 450 Cabriolet 4Motion. Be sure to follow along on our social media, subscribe right here to our YouTube channel for all of our car videos. If you want more on this car or any others, go to A Girl's Guide to Cars. We have all the information right there. And if you see a video pop up in the corner, be sure to click on it. We put it there just for you because we think you're going to like it. This is the 2024 Mercedes-Benz CLE 450. It also comes in a 300 edition, which is a slightly smaller engine, slightly less horsepower, and slightly smaller price range. The 2024 CLE is actually a little bit longer and a little bit larger, both on the inside and the outside, than the C and E class cabriolets and coupes that it replaces. Mercedes actually made it 3 inches longer and increased interior space with the idea of creating seating for 4 people, 4 adults. I'll show you inside. There are seats with foot space in the footwells and a little legroom. It's probably going to be much more comfortable for top-down riding with 4 passengers than with the top up because of the slope of the roof, but if you have small passengers, they're going to be quite delighted. Notice a few details on this car with a price tag that starts at $77,000. We have the Mercedes-Benz wheel caps there. There are 10 wheel options, there are 7 paint options, and there are 5 interior options. So you can customize this pretty much however you would like. Notice on the front grille, we have this new front grille design. It has those sort of Mercedes-Benz stars that span this mesh grille, and then it's anchored with that large Mercedes star right there in the center and a Mercedes badge right there on the hood. We have these really beautiful new LED headlights that, like other luxury cars we've seen lately, have sort of a linear square headlight treatment there. And then notice here, another nice little Easter egg, there's actually a textured star pattern here on this lower panel, lower fender panel here, and it spans across. You can see there. All in all, it's a really beautiful treatment. And of course, as a convertible, I know you have this question, it's my question too. How much of the trunk space does that convertible top take up? Let me show you, because it's pretty interesting. So first of all, the way that you access the trunk is by just pushing the badge. So let me show you that again. You push the badge and the trunk opens. And then this is our trunk space. So it's actually pretty good. It's very deep and it has room for 2 rollerboard bags. And you'll see my bag does fit in there quite nicely. And actually you could probably fit another one there. So you could actually fit 3 rollerboard bags. You can fit 2 under there and 1 here and still be able to close the trunk. That's a really nice detail, because what that means is not only do you have room for luggage for 3, possibly 4 passengers, but you also don't suffer having your trunk taken up by the convertible top. So now we're going to put the AirCap to the test. We are in the CLE 450 Cabriolet. I have the top down, I will say. Feels really good. It's a hot day. Does the leather feel hot? No. In fact, I'm going to say the car has been sitting in an open parking lot in the bright sun for the last hour and a half. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. It's 11:11, make a wish. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, and we've been just sitting out in the sun. And these seats, if they were black, they would be super hot. But they feel, my seat, actually, the one that I've been sitting in, feels quite cool to the touch. But I'm gonna say these seats don't feel hot either. They don't feel cool, but they do not feel as hot as I would expect them, having been sitting in the open air all morning like this. I'm gonna test the AirCap. So this is AirCap down. So the diffuser is down, the windscreen is down, and you can see my hair blowing, which actually, as hot and sunny as it is this morning, feels pretty good. So now I'm gonna put the windscreen up, or the AirCap. You can hear it a little bit. My hair doesn't just completely stop blowing. I'm going about 45 miles an hour. I'm just zooming along with traffic here. I don't have major crosswinds, but it's not super, I'm in a pretty average, I would say, space. Oh, we're gonna go through a tunnel. So let's see how we do in the tunnel with no wind. It's a little loud. And I'm gonna say with the AirCap up, there definitely is some reduced wind to the experience in the cabin. It doesn't feel loud, but it doesn't feel louder with the screen down than it does with the screen and diffuser deployed or extended. So I like it. I think if you've spent a lot of money straightening your hair or a special updo or something like that, and you really want to drive with the top down, like say on a wedding or a special occasion, this will definitely help. It is not the complete answer. You still, if you really don't want your hair to blow around, you still need a hat or a scarf, I think. That's my studied opinion. So let's try out the AirCap with the windows down. So I put the windows down, you can maybe see there. And I don't have the air screen up, that one and this one. I haven't turned on the AirCap yet. I'm driving about 40 miles an hour, and you can see my hair is blowing quite a bit. So as we're driving, I'm going to put up the AirCap. So you can see that screen deploy there. There's a diffuser up here that extends, and let's see if that has any difference at all. I don't really notice any difference at all. My hair is still blowing about the way it was before. Now I've put up the windows, and that does make a difference. It's quieter, my hair's blowing less. I'm gonna say though, in general, it wasn't bad to begin with. It does blow, it's probably better. The windows, I think, are a better protection against, you know, really rat's nest type hair with a convertible top than the AirCap. But if it's a standard feature on this car, great. You might have a different experience, or especially in high wind, but you could see the difference here versus no windows, no AirCap at all, versus AirCap and no windows, and now windows up, AirCap up, and there you go. And probably it's a little bit easier to hear me. I do feel like the cabin is quieter with all these protections up. So really, we have the open air roof, but lots of protection around us, which I do like. Another thing that is really great is you can put up the top at up to 37 miles per hour. So I'm gonna put up the top right now because it's kind of foggy and not so lovely day at the beach. So I'm gonna put the top up while we're driving. You do have to hold the button the whole time, by the way. It's not a one touch. So you do have to hold the button. But now I am in a lovely cabin with leather seats and beautiful surrounds. And now I'm just in a luxury car on my way to one of my favorite places before I go to the airport. Bloomingdale's. So I am gonna hop in the car and I'm gonna show you all around. There's some great new technology in this car, but before we do that, I wanna show you how you put the top up and down. So, pardon me while I go and push some buttons. First I have to start it, and listen to this. It starts with a really subtle, quiet hum to life. That's because it's a mild hybrid and it is designed to be quiet and comfortable. When you put it in sport mode, it definitely is throatier, but for now it's quiet and comfortable. And now, without further ado, let's lower the convertible top.
I don't have a sunroof, unfortunately.
So you might have heard me talking to the car talking to me, and that is also something that's new in the Mercedes-Benz CLE for 2024, and that is a natural voice recognition system that listens for certain keywords, and as you speak those keywords, it will respond. Luckily, you can turn that off if you like, and just use the natural command, the good old standby, which is, hey, you know who. And by the way, nicely, the car offered me my seatbelt because it has a seatbelt extender. Now, before we come into the car and do a full walk around with all the details, oh, it also has a seatbelt tightener, with all the details that you want to know inside this car, let me show you that other detail. First of all, this is the AirCap. Notice what happens here and notice what happens there. A screen rises in the back and this diffuser rises here, and that's designed to keep your hair from flowing around in the wind as you're driving. So giving a very specific solution to very specific customers, mostly women. Certainly there are more men with long hair now who also don't love a convertible because of what it can do to your hair. Mercedes has been thinking about that, and that is a really thoughtful detail. Let's put the top back up. This is what it looks like to put the top up. Now I've put my window down, so it's not going to put that window down up, but it will put the other ones up. The other three. Oh, no, wait, I'm wrong. It put that window up as well. Okay, thank you, you know who. I'm not going to say your name because I don't need the assistance, but that also is pretty thoughtful. Now, to give you the best interior tour, I am going to put the top down. This is the AirCap. So you should be able to see this diffuser rise and that screen rise. And then if I want to put the top up, it actually automatically retracts the AirCap for you. Changes to the Mercedes-Benz Cabriolet, which actually is probably what you should just call it. Even though this is the CLE, it does replace some other models that had different names. They weren't a CLE necessarily. So the Cabriolet, which is Mercedes speak for convertible, has a lot of new details and a lot of updates for 2024. It starts with, I just want to show you the lay of the land here, turbine style air vents, which are iconic Mercedes-Benz. Carbon fiber on the dashboard, another sort of iconic detail. A lot of manufacturers use it. Mercedes-Benz has been using it for a long time. It adds an air of refinement, even though it's a performance material, but it adds a really nice sense of refinement. Then we have the classic S-style screen that was first developed for the S-Class. This has been updated quite a lot, and there's some really great new function here. This is a 12-inch screen. We have a 12-inch linear digital driver display here. This can be customized using the buttons on the steering wheel. This can be customized as well. And then there's a control panel down here. And in fact, let me put the bottles of water into the bottle pockets in the door and show you a little bit around here as well. But there is a panel down here, and this is really kind of the key to life. So the first thing that you can do is that. So you can actually change the angle of the screen. It's reclined, or you can put it up forward. So if there's glare on the screen, we're driving with the wide open, and if there's glare on the screen, I can actually change that so that I can see the screen much better. There is a panel here that allows me to customize my fingerprint. It says fingerprint test driver. So no, I don't really want my fingerprint living in this car. But if this is my car, or if you have multiple drivers, they can actually customize everything in this car with their own personal settings and use the fingerprint recognition to grab those settings right away. Then we'll have, down here is the center console. It is covered in carbon fiber. It's really pretty. There are 2 cup holders here. They are retractable cup holders. There is a wireless charge pad here for a phone, which is fantastic. I really appreciate that it's down there. I can't see my phone. It's tucked away in there, but I can connect to Apple CarPlay, and I can either plug in my phone using a wire or I can charge wirelessly. And I have everything I need, but I don't have my phone right there. It's in a nice safe space tucked away. And when you get out of the car, it will remind you to take your phone if it's in the charger. So that's a really nice feature. On the steering wheel, we've got some key functions here. There's a control panel here for customizing your driver display. There is our driver assist systems here and adaptive cruise. There is a button here that allows you to customize this screen, and then our entertainment and phone controls are here. And then the piece de resistance is this one. Hey Mercedes,
Yes,
would you navigate to the nearest Starbucks?
I have found multiple results. Where do you want to go?
Number 1, please.
I'll take a look at which route we should take.
Thank you.
At your service.
At your service. Don't you love that? I love that. Mercedes has just the best voice activated system. In the Mercedes-Benz CLE 300 and in the 450, Mercedes has really evolved the voice activation or voice control system. So it's really nice because you can control pretty much everything you need to control just by using the wake word or by just saying a keyword. If you're driving solo, this could be a really good feature once you sort of get past that learning curve of how to use it, such as how far to Calamigos Ranch. Set navigation.
Please say the destination.
So the nice thing is I didn't have to use a wake word. All I had to do was ask a question. So this was something that I noticed on my drive this morning, was that I would just sort of, thinking out loud, talking out loud, and the system would come to life without me saying the wake word. Well, that's because you can set it to recognize your questions and really learn to have a conversation with you or to respond to things that you say out loud. Or if you want a little more control, you can just say the wake word, or you can just turn it all off. You can answer homework questions. You can settle a debate. You can get the score to your favorite game as you're driving, and all you have to do is ask. It's very similar to systems that you might find on Alexa or Siri, much better than Siri has been. And with the coming age of AI, it's only going to get better, but Mercedes is very much ahead of the game. So if you want quick access to things like head-up display, lane keep assist, manual shifting if you want to use the paddle shifters and you want manual shifting, Parktronic, auto lane change, so I can turn that on. It's not available. I have to turn on the car first. Head-up display, and then the seatbelt extender is there. And then this is the seatbelt feeder. So I can just push this button and the seatbelt extender comes out. So I can easily push my seatbelt. A convertible is great for 1 passenger or 2, but sometimes there are others who need to ride along as well. Maybe your kids, maybe your friends for date night, maybe your dog. How easy is it to get in and out of the back seat in the Mercedes-Benz CLE 450 Cabriolet? Well, let's take a look. So the first thing I'm going to do is open the door. And there is a tab here on this seat, and I just pull that tab and it powers forward. I want you to notice the shape of these seats. The seat is concave on the back, and that is to give room for passengers' knees. Now I'm just going to climb in. Definitely this is much easier to do in a convertible with the top down than with the top up, but it's not bad. So I'm going to say this came back to its natural position, and I have room for my knees. I'm actually quite impressed. In fact, I'm gonna snap a photo with my phone because it is that impressive. For rear seat passengers to get out, just pull the tab and the seat pushes itself forward, and then you just stand up and exit. It's actually pretty easy. The mission here was pretty clear. Mercedes wants you to dream about this car. They actually call it a dream car. but they want it to be the dream car that you drive every day. So between cooling leather interiors and lots of choices, between very cool paint colors, there are lots of choices there, and lots of ways so that you can drive this car without it impeding on your life, ruining your hair, the air scarf that warms you in the winter, all-wheel drive that allows you to drive in rougher winter conditions, and room for not only you and your things, but your people and their things in a two-door coupe convertible. So let's talk about the price of this dream car. The 300 version starts at about $64,000. This one starts at about $73,000. It has every available package, head-up display. It has the Pinnacle trim, which adds $2,500 or so. This one comes in at about $84,000. So yes, it's a lot, but it is also a dream car, and really great dreams don't come cheap.